all right, family. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Today is Monday, January 20th. Gonna have a great show tonight. Gonna have a quantum show tonight. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, y'all can't hear me in the chat. They're excited. They're excited. Erin's on here. I see us. They're excited. All right, family. Without further ado, I want to welcome back to the platform, Erin Lyons. Welcome back.
Thank
welcome
you.
back.
Thank you.
You know, I'm excited. I talked to you, Erin, a couple of days ago, and we finalized that you're gonna make it to the non-ether Godfest.
Oh
And
yes.
boy, oh boy, the people got real excited when they heard that one. Real excited. Oh, that's gonna be good. Now, what are you're doing? A shamanic? You're gonna do what exactly?
You said it was more, you want to get out of the mind into the heart. So
Yes.
gave me. We're gonna do a shamanic journey. So we're gonna have some drums, some other instruments I'm gonna use. It's gonna be multidimensional.
Excellent. Yo, Erin, you gonna do the light language thing too?
I was gonna ask you if that was okay.
They be loving that. I'm down. they love that, Erin.
Just bombard people's fields with that sometimes.
Nah, that's fire.
First, but yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's fine. And since I mentioned that, let's start out like this on tonight. Oh, once again, family, the link is in the chat. Family, you do not want to. Did I pin it? I think it's pinned to the top of the chat. No, it's not. I'll share the link now, family. You do not want to miss this event, Non-Ether Godfest, going down February 8th in Stonecrest, Georgia. Family, Erin Lyons just got added to the lineup. It is an absolute awesome lineup. It's going to be a very fun event. It's going to be a emotional event. It's going to be a heart-filled event, family. Make sure you get your ticket. We are at about 80% capacity, family. So do not miss your ticket. Get your ticket as soon as possible. All right, family? Let's get this thing started. Erin, since I mentioned the light language, and now that you're bringing the light language to the event, I wanted to ask you, because sometimes when I see you do the light language, I think about sign language. And I want to ask you, was sign language had more spiritual significance in ancient times? Because it seems like when you start doing like that, it seems powerful. Just like when you see the gang members and they up there like that, and that means a lot to them. So what's the deal with sign language? Did it have more spiritual significance in ancient times?
That's a great question. What I'm feeling into is the founders of sign language, or whoever channeled that system through.
Yeah.
It's almost like spirit was giving them the energetic translation of like sound vibrations, but giving them the translation in the form of hand movement. So perfect example of this is as parents. So for those of you who are parents, when you're like talking to your kids and you start talking with your hands, and it's very natural and organic for us as humans to do that, because the hand movement is the physical channeling of the vibratory expression. So yes, yes.
It's what's weird is that sometimes we do things naturally and we get teased for doing it. So just to give you an example, like I grew up in the hood. So in the hood, we talk with our hands a lot. So,
right.
And we get teased for it, and they call it ghetto or something, and come to find out that it has spiritual significance to it. So it's just very interesting when you start to learn about these things.
Everything is interconnected. Everything is already innately built into us. Like we are a perfect design. That's what Source is saying right now. We were built perfectly. So everything that we naturally do, science is so far behind in understanding what's built into our innate genius.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So for 2025, you channel Source a lot. And I'm just curious. I talked to a lot of the speakers on this channel, and I'm curious as to what everybody wants to add to in terms of what do they feel 2025 is going to be about. Today happens to be the inauguration of President Donald Trump. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on everything and just moving forward with 2025, spiritually speaking?
So what I want to start by saying is we are not all in the same timeline. We have our personal individual timeline. Then we have collective themes that we all sort of on a soul level agree to experience. However, we can choose how we relate to those personal themes. So, in my personal reality, 2025 is it's going to be amazing. It's already amazing. I'm activating that parallel timeline for myself, that version of reality for myself.
Mm,
And I would implore people to decide, we're going to talk about that a lot tonight, decide the storyline that you want to connect into.
mm,
What character do you want to be in your own movie? So I wish I could say everyone here is going to have a great 2025, but really it depends on your personal vibration, your thoughts, your beliefs, your behaviors, and your attitude towards reality itself.
mm, mm. Indeed, indeed. So, in terms of what advice would you give us in terms of treating life like it's a movie? We treat life as if it's life, not like it's a movie. When you're in a movie, you're acting, you're playing a role. What advice would you give us to play this role? Like I'm Richard, my name is Richard Murray, so this is a role. What advice would you give us so that we be more like actors instead of more like what we were taught to be?
Main character energy, as we call it. So
Ooh, yeah.
I want to use this example, guys. You know how if you've ever been in a lucid dream, meaning you awake in the dream, and let's say you awaken within the dream, and let's say it was a nightmare, but then something happens. You go, oh, wait, it's just a dream. And as soon as you have that realization, what happens? There's this relief, and you're like, oh, it's just a dream. So the fear goes away. So I'm using that analogy to like point out that for you to enjoy your character and your role, first you got to understand that it's just a dream, that nothing here is concrete. Anything can be changed as soon as you shift the way that you're perceiving it. So if I know that I'm in a game, I know that I'm in a dream, I know that I'm a character, then I'm going to start enjoying that. I'm going to start having fun with my ego, as opposed to when we're asleep and we're in the nightmare, then the ego is being controlled by illusory these illusory dreamtime elements.
Right, right. So you just mentioned the fear going away. I want to ask you, Erin, is fear and love interconnected? And this is what I mean. Sometimes I might be scared, Erin. If my fear goes away, my love will go away too. And I'm gonna give the example. I use an example somewhat of my son before. If I'm not scared of my son getting hurt, then I may lose a certain amount of love. I may not. The love may not be there. You fear for your loved ones the most.
Mhm.
Your loved one, you just had a son. You have a family. You have a husband. You want the best for them. So when they go out there in the world, you know you want, you know what I'm saying. So if you lose the fear, would some of the love get lost in the process because they're interconnected?
Mm. So I love this question so much as a new mom. Because I was experiencing these emotions that I never experienced before. Like, I'm so worried about him. Like, I hope he's gonna be okay. Like, if I leave him with like we just got a part-time nanny, and just these thoughts as a parent. And Source came in and goes, the fear is actually showing you where you lack trust.
Mm, mm,
Because when you understand that every being has the ability to connect into the highest vibration of unconditional love, and that would also be their safety, their security, then you don't worry about them in that way.
okay.
So I wouldn't say that fear and love are interconnected, but what I will say is when I've experienced the highest levels of unconditional love, like on a multidimensional level, being absorbed into source,
Hmm.
love is comprised of all of the other emotions. It's sort of like love is the totality of all emotions combined. So
What,
love,
positive and negative?
but it's all consumed, but the feeling of love is that you needed that polarity of fear to know that love is the only real truth. It's not
Okay.
that fear itself is its own absolute truth. It's just something that we allow to exist to play the game.
Mm, mm.
Hope that makes sense.
No, definitely. So, in terms of, let me ask you this. In terms, like I mentioned earlier, today is the inauguration of President Trump. When a lot of people think about President Trump, they think about racism. That's one of the words that come up a lot when people mention Trump. It was promoted out there that he's a lot of people just feel like he throws paper towels at Puerto Ricans, does a lot of weird stuff or whatever. What I want to ask you is, last year a lot of psychics predicted on the internet that Trump was going to lose and Kamala, I don't want to mispronounce the name, but she was going to win, and that this was going to help usher in, or be symbolic to the rise of the divine feminine. What I want to ask you is, why do you think so many psychics got it wrong, and what does that mean? Does that have any connection to this whole divine feminine thing that Trump is in office now? Does that slow down the process at all? What exactly is going on with that?
I'll put it this way. What manifests, the manifestations that we experience as a society are reflections of a collective vibration. If we're looking at the frequency of the divine feminine collective vibration, let's really ask ourselves, have we been ready for that type of feminine leadership? Mm-hmm. Meaning there are many ongoing beliefs about disempowerment. There are many ongoing beliefs about suppression and victimization. So the reflection that the collective got was one said, you're not yet vibrating in the energy where you actually believe this is possible. Now, that's one layer of it, but another layer of it is Trump represents so many other things that as a collective, if I'm looking at humanity let's just say humanity as a joint, like one joint soul. Mm-hmm. The soul of humanity chose something else because there are other things that need to happen. And I'll leave it that way. There are other things that need to happen that were sort of more important than needing the feminine leader, but also understand, just because it's a feminine leader, it doesn't mean it's the right feminine leader.
So talking about that with Trump and the masculine and the feminine and what people think about Trump, when we're talking about we're going into a golden age. Let's say people mention the age of Aquarius and it being a golden age. Does that mean that, let's say, the golden age for men is different from golden age for women, or golden age for black people? Like, one time black people was ruling the world, another time white people was ruling the world, one time white people were slaves, one time black people were slaves. Does that mean we have a different golden age according to our gender and our quote unquote race?
This is about Christ consciousness.
Okay.
And when we're talking about Christ consciousness, we're talking about the universal law of one. So all of those separations and differences, those actually go away in the golden age. So what actually needs to happen is that we start to disconnect from our collective past, meaning those were contracts and experiences of our ancestors.
Okay.
And when we talk about connecting into a new storyline, this is what we're talking about. Right. We keep connecting to the past. We keep reliving the past and feeling like the past is our lived experience now. And you know what happens when we do that? We create an energetic timeline loop. So humanity is in a timeline loop. We're literally like frozen in time. Whereas if we were operating in quantum Christ consciousness, we would be shifting through parallel reality so fast that things would actually change faster. So if you're someone who's sitting up here still attached to race and like political themes and anything that creates separation, you got to understand, and this is just coming from a place of pure unconditional love, you're still operating in lower tiers of density. The golden age is going to bring that up to the surface. And when things are coming up to the surface, it's going to be maybe ugly before, you experience higher ascension.
Right. No, definitely. I loved how you said that. What Erin, what would be a sign? What would be a sign that someone may be shifting through parallel realities fast? Like what's a sign that you may get like, oh shit, I'm moving fast? Like what give us an example.
Well, you start losing track of time. It's like you look up and you're like, is it Monday? Is it two? I don't even know what day it is
Mhm.
because you're moving so fast. And so on a quantum level, this is what's happening. Because you're shifting through timelines and parallel reality so fast, you're not recycling through the same circumstances, situations. So you might even lose people. You might get fired from a job.
Oh,
You might like a relationship might end. Somebody might break up with you. These can actually, they might seem negative at first, but they're actually signs that you're moving, things are changing, you've fallen out of vibrational resonance with certain people, places, and things.
indeed, indeed. What would you, and I might have asked you, I might have asked you this before. I know I asked somebody this question in some form or fashion. When you're moving through these parallel realities and you're shifting through the quantum field and you're jumping timelines, you're completely leaving one frequency and going to another. And a
Mhm.
lot of times people experience, they feel like that frequency is attacking them. So they may say, oh, the devil's out for me. Or there's all types of sayings, or every time something good happened, something bad happens right after that. And when we have all these sayings for when we try to move from one frequency to the next, what would be your advice? Let's say if somebody's trying to leave a frequency and they just feel like that frequency just keeps trying to drag you
Mhm,
back into it.
mhm, mhm. This is all about energetic momentum.
Mm,
And so it's sort of like this. Let's say somebody comes into a large amount of money and then simultaneously it's like their car breaks down or something happens. So now they got to spend the money and they lose the money.
yeah.
It's like for a split second, you got access to a new reality. But you know what happened? It didn't become your true vibrational set point, meaning it wasn't your true state of being yet. Maybe you've played around with accessing that state of being. So this is when people experience like a manifestation roller coaster. It's like you get some good stuff, you
Yeah,
get some bad stuff.
yeah.
And it's just simply sometimes it can take more time for you to really anchor into a vibration. Like I experienced this myself where for years I would get like a lot of great things, miraculous things would happen, but then these other things would happen. And then I remember there being like this tipping point where things were just good and peaceful. And
Mm,
what will even happen is you go, it's a little bit too calm around here.
mm, mm,
So if that's happening to you, you're still in a process of refinement and creating a new dominant momentum.
mhm, mhm, mhm. What would you describe when you're meditating? I would love to know your spiritual explanation for this because this happens to a lot of people. Let's say you're meditating, Erin, and you may be trying to concentrate on something, or you may be just focusing. You're focusing on your energy on something, and your body has this way of it'll just start to itch somewhere. Something to happen just to like, and you'd be like, how does my body know just to itch right here? Like it's the weirdest shit in the world. Like you're
Yeah.
really trying to focus, and your body keeps trying to break your body. And we think we got external enemies, but your body's like trying to stop your focus. So what is your body doing during meditation that it keeps trying to stop
Yeah.
you from focus? What's the spiritual explanation of this and how can we, move forward?
Yeah, what source is giving me is like this is about awareness. It's because you have entered a new state of awareness that particular thing is really capturing your attention versus like when you're not in meditation and you're doing a thousand things and your focus is everywhere, split
Mhm.
between all these different things, and you're like, you might have an itch and you scratch it automatically. You're not even consciously aware that that's what's happening. So when we're meditating, we're becoming more sensitive to the energy around us and the sensations in our body, which is a good thing. We're becoming present. We're becoming more silent. So what happens when you get silent? Things get louder because you can actually hear them. You can actually see them.
Indeed. Yeah, wow. In terms of meditation, what do you think? is the most important thing. Some people say focus on the breath. Some people
Mhm.
say just let
Yeah.
your thoughts just let them go by.
So rampant.
What would you say is something, because I want people to apply this stuff and for them to help them. So I'm just trying to figure out what has helped you and what message source might deliver through you for anybody having problems with meditation. Like, what advice would you give?
Mhm. So each person has different neurotransmitters, meaning the way that they receive information and the way that their mental faculties work.
Right.
So some folks actually need to engage in a visual meditation if you have an overly stimulated mind. So this could literally just be looking around in your environment, looking at the colors, the patterns, the shapes. Like Source recommended for me to do this personally.
Mm-hmm.
Or sound. That's another one that I personally love. Like I love to zone out to the sound of air conditioning, and it just kind of takes me into
Mm-hmm.
that nothingness energy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people, it could be focusing on the breath. I do that as well. I also use counting. So the counting, right? Anything that creates repetition, because the idea is that the repetition takes you out of mind and just brings you into that presence where you lose yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
before you know it, you go, oh my gosh, like I wasn't even thinking for however long. So try all of those different things and see what resonates with you. There's no wrong or right way to meditate. For some people, it could be exercise, going to the gym, getting in the zone, weightlifting, like whatever takes you out of your mind. It could be cooking, I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm just doing like, maintaining the house and cleaning, that's very meditative for me. Washing
Yeah.
dishes and anything that puts you in a flow state. That's the idea.
Yeah, a lot of simple things can put us in that flow state that we take for
Exactly.
granted. Like you said, dishes, or a lot of people with taking a shower puts a lot of people in the flow state. So yeah,
Mhm.
especially cleaning. So yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, what's your thoughts on the planetary alignment that's about to happen? The planets are going to align in a straight line. Any message from a source that we may should be aware of about this planetary alignment? I think in a couple of days, I believe.
So how we say as above, so below. And
Yes.
when we're looking at this straight line, the planets coming into really harmony, um, that is a representation of us beginning to operate in the universal law of one. That is a sign of us as a planet having a more harmonious, balanced energy and consciousness. So what's going to also happen is because each of these planets have different characteristics in gravitational fields and how they just impact our own electromagnetic fields,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to trigger anything that has not been in cosmic harmony
Right.
will come to the surface or be revealed in your life. Nothing to be afraid of, right? It's just simply a cosmic alignment that happens.
So things will begin to come to the surface, you're saying, for
Yes, for people. So anything that's out, we'll put it this way, anything that's vibrating below the frequency of this new planetary timeline, it is going to have to first come to the surface so you can address it.
wow.
It's a collective purging.
Collective purging. Very
Yes.
interesting. Very interesting.
So LA fires will be an example of this.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think now, for those people who may feel like it was a conspiracy with the LA fires? Can it be both at the same time, a collective purging from the divine source and a conspiracy at the same time? Can conspiracy and divine source operate at, at the same time? Can the Illuminati and divine source operate at the same time? You know what I'm saying?
Um, you want to see this as timelines, right?
Yeah.
How Source wants to talk about this is a manifestation is a manifestation. It doesn't by the point that it manifested, it doesn't really matter how. Some
Mm,
people say, natural wildfires, this type of thing. Some people say conspiracy, this, that, and the third. It's still a collective manifestation, meaning enough souls were energetically on a particular frequency that this is what they co-created and this is what happened. When you look at it that way, you empower yourself. Now, the issue with a lot of conspiracy theories is that there's there can be an undertone of disempowerment. And source is really about us coming into our creator being energy. So after it's manifested, really the only question is, what is the storyline that you personally want to connect into and that we collectively want to connect into? If we say this is them attacking us, okay, that's the parallel version of Earth that you are going to experience with those beings and those forces. If you say I am a free sovereign being and this is the way I'm choosing to relate to this and this is what it actually means, that's what it will mean, because that's how powerful we are as gods.
Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, a lot of people like examples.
Yes.
It guides us to, tap into the power of who we are. I want to know, Erin, what is the most empowering thing you do on a daily basis to tap into the timeline of your preference, so that people may mimic it, they may, use that and come up with their own version of it. But what's the most empowering thing you do throughout the day?
Gratitude. Two things: gratitude and fun. And me and you spoke about this the
Right,
other day.
right.
But gratitude and fun. What? So gratitude is a vibration that says I am already abundant. I mean, really, every spiritual teacher will talk about gratitude. So at this point, it might sound like cliche, but it really is. Okay, Source wants to refer to it as the highest form of white magic, because high vibrational magic is better. Okay, when we give thanks for something, it's not that we're giving thanks to Source because Source is outside of ourselves and like needs all this praise. Is that we're saying thank you to the entirety of existence and creation, that this even exists as a potentiality that you can enjoy and experience. And every time you amplify that vibration of gratitude,
Mhm.
you appreciate how many more things can come into your life that you enjoy. Now, fun is really a frequency that shows you that you have mastered the what we call the 3D matrix, right? Because you know it's an illusion, you know it's a game. And now, instead of being a slave and instead of feeling like the world is a prison, it's now a playground. So you're having fun. You should be having the time of your life, by the way, is what Source is saying. We should all be having the times of our lives.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. In terms of fun, have you ever, and like I said, I want people to learn from, things you have been through. Have you ever, Erin, been having fun, enjoying life, understanding that things are an illusion, and then you may hear news or
Mm.
about somebody you may know something bad happened to them, or somebody may look at you like, what the hell are you doing? Don't you see that there's a war going on outside? So you kind of feel kind of
Right.
selfish or arrogant,
Mhm.
having so much fun while the outside may be in turmoil. Have you ever felt like a arrogant having fun when there's people out there struggling or suffering in the so-called external world?
In the beginning of my journey, yes, especially when it came to family and close friends. So
Mm,
your reality starts to change. You start to quantum leap. You're experiencing all of this joy and beauty and abundance and freedom. And people that you care about, they're still living in the same reality. And that was something that I had to really work on, being okay with the fact that their soul is actually choosing to still experience reality in those tiers of density. So whenever you start feeling guilt or shame because you're having so much fun and things are going great for you, understand that by you lowering your vibration, you don't really help anyone. The best thing you can do for anybody is to maintain that frequency. And if anything, the universe is really testing you, trying to see, are you going to buy into their lack and their pain,
mm,
or are you going to stay in that high energy and be the example that this is the only real truth? So when we feel bad, we're actually, I like to call, or I actually got this from Shaman Durek. He goes, I don't co-validate anybody's lack.
mm,
And that is a principle that I live by. I will not co-validate your lack. I will not feel bad because you're a creator. And that's my job, is to help you remember that you're a creator. So I have to, what do we call it? Stand on business in that regard.
Uh-oh. Okay, okay. So let's understand this a little bit deeper. So if we're meeting a quantum version of everybody, like let's say the person, let's say a guy named Rob, and you have an interaction with Rob. Your interaction with Rob may be different from 20 other people's interaction with Rob because of your unique energy. So my question is, if we're riding this fun vibration, the people we love, do they necessarily disappear from our vibration if we change it, or do we get the fun version of them? Are we going to get the fun version of them, or if they don't match it, they just disappear from our life completely?
It really depends on the soul contract. There are just lifelong contracts with certain people, like parents, where no matter what vibration they're on, just because of the relational quality and what you need to learn from them and what they're getting from you, they're just always going to be in your reality. Now, if you have other relationships that are like, hey, if you're not hopping on this vibration, then you're going to fall out of resonance and they're just going to vibrate out. So the two souls will decide. This is how I'm seeing it in the field. Two souls will decide to maintain relationship no matter how wide the frequency. Now, what will actually happen, however, is maybe you won't talk to them all the time because you're just not in the same, like the spectrum of the frequency is just too wide. So maybe you'll only go visit your parents once per year and it'll be a holiday or something like that.
Yes, it's interesting in this world, Erin. Some people you have to have, long distance relationships with, and that's the only way it works.
That's
It's
the
just
only,
impossible.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
But they
Very
can't hold your vibration. This is
wow.
what we have to understand. And I had to accept this about some close people in my life. I'm like, you know what?
Yikes.
I wish we could be closer. And Source goes, well, you can't, because the vibrations are too far apart. Like, you can hold them in your heart. They can hold you in their heart, but are you going to see them every day? It's just from a universal law perspective. If you're vibrating here most of the time and they're vibrating here most of the time, you're not going to interact with them on a daily basis. It's just not going to happen.
Another thing that's weird about this realm that we're in, Erin. Now, this is a relationship-based realm, meaning that we all depend on each other, whether it's
Sure.
food, mother, son, woman, man, woman, son, or woman, child, or your close friends, or just we all. One person does this, another person does that. We interact with each other. Um, there's a saying, Erin, it's lonely at the top. And even the symbol of the pyramid, you have the pyramid where it's like wide at the bottom and it gets narrow when it comes to the top. I would love to know from source energy, from yourself, what you studied. What's the purpose of getting all this information? And I'm resonating at such a high frequency, Erin. I mean, I'm so high to the sky, and it's just, but I'm lonely. It gets the higher my frequency get, the lonelier I get. I can't connect with this person, can't connect with that person, can't connect with them, can't connect with
It's real. It's
so
real. Yeah.
what's the purpose of living in a relationship-based world where I can't have that many relationships because I'm so on such a high frequency?
Because we're living in this dimension, and let's just say version of Earth at this time, this particular timeline, where not as many people are going to be on your frequency, then that's just part of the experience that you signed up for as the teacher, as the star seed, as the light worker, as the gatekeeper, as the wisdom way shower. It's just a part of the job. Now, what can also happen is when you sit in that mastery of solitude and self fulfillment, you will then match the frequency of the souls who are resonating and who can, we'll put it this way, support your highest mission. So they will be more in alignment. And though I'm just hearing from many people who feel lonely right now, those people are coming. Those people are coming.
Yo, you know what's crazy, Erin? Sometimes like you'll meet people who are good and who want to support you, who want to show you love, but you don't want them to show you love. You want them to show you love. So it's like, even though you have people that will support you, like,
Yeah.
damn, but I wish my day one would show me love. Why can't it's like
Mhm.
you want a certain person to show you love. You don't just want the love sometimes to see, Erin. You
Mhm.
want the love from a certain person. And if that person,
Attachment.
huh?
That
That's
would be called attachment.
attachment. Wow. This, oh man,
Because
that's a
this is actually what it is. This
uh,
is what it is. You want the love from that person
yeah.
because you actually want their validation and you value their opinion just based on the history of you and this person. For whatever reason, you value their opinion. And because you value their opinion, you want their love more than, somebody that you don't really know much about, or there's no weight or emphasis on this person's role in your life.
Right.
So we have to release the attachment,
Hmm.
and we have to learn how to give ourselves things that we want from other people. That was a huge part of my mastery journey. Is okay,
Say that again. We have to.
we have to learn how to give ourselves things that we're desiring other people to give us, be it love, validation, acknowledgement, right? Whatever these things are, how can start asking yourself, how can I give that to me? I don't even need that person. How can I give it to me? Become your own source for what you're looking for.
Mm,
And
mm.
then you don't have leaky energy.
Right, right, right. You know, we're talking about tapping into the quantum field, Erin, and jumping timelines of your desired reality. If you're on the internet, and I talk about this with a lot of my guests, a major topic that's all over is about relationships and, the turmoil with men and women. What I want to ask is, why do you think, what was the purpose? And I'm asking a lot of things about what was the purpose in this realm? What was the purpose in this realm? What was the purpose in this realm? Why would women outnumber men so vastly if you know obviously that may cause a dilemma when it comes to everybody, because I talked about it being a relationship based world, everybody being fulfilled and everybody being happy, everybody finding someone. Why would there be a world where women outnumber men at such a large degree?
This is really interesting. But what source is giving me is because the masculine hasn't been in its ascended, let's just say the ascended version of masculine energy, it's sort of a protection mechanism because on a biological level, women are already like on a physical biological level inferior to men. So if you have all these men on top of the fact that they're not vibrating in the highest frequency or tiers of consciousness, that's a very dangerous situation for women. So it's sort of like I'm seeing this as a energetic balance for the planet, um, just to maintain some levels of harmony as opposed to just let things get too chaotic.
Mm, very, very, very interesting. Okay, so just keeping things moving. We're in 2025. We're entering what they say the golden age, and there's this talk, a lot of talk on the internet about religion versus spirituality. Me and you both, we've studied Bashar. We've talked about Bashar in the past. He's an
We spoke about Abraham Hicks. I don't think we ever spoke about Bashar.
okay. No, we did talk about Abraham Hicks, but yeah. But
Okay, okay. I didn't. Maybe
you're,
I'm kidding. Okay.
you're aware of Bashar, though, right?
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. So one of the things that Bashar talks about a lot is permission slips.
Mhm.
Now, permission slips just using something to tap into the quantum field. They may be this right here. If this allows me permission to tap into the quantum field, then I got to use this. You got to use what you can use to tap into
I
divine source.
say,
Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. Um, in terms of religion, if people in religion use Jesus as a permission slip to tap into the quantum field? Is it wrong for somebody who's in the new age movement to come along and say, hey, that guy didn't exist, or that story is not real? If it's working for them, should we mind our business and allow that to work for them and just do whatever works for us?
100%.
Okay.
It's like if you believe in a rock and you believe that that rock is God's source, whatever you believe about that rock, and that helps you, that's your connection to source, then source is like, we don't care. Doesn't matter. Now, with religion, these are also soul contracts. You know, when you are a spirit, you go, I'm going to choose my religion. I'm going to choose the family I was born into, and fully knowing what their beliefs are, to what extent those beliefs are going to influence you or be a major theme in your life. So if it's working for people, just leave them alone. Let them do them. Like for the people who are ready to raise their vibration, access higher dimensional consciousness and higher dimensional concepts, that's already encoded in their soul's plan. They're all, the universe is going to drop in people and resources and information that's going to put them on that path. So you thinking that you need to save the world and come in and save the day, no. Infinite intelligence is going to do that if that's encoded within that person's personal soul blueprint.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, I had to ask that. So I want to, I want to ask that. So, in terms of us vibrating, to our height, to the highest degree, or tapping into our preferred timeline, a lot of the texts talk about us, the law of attraction and us attracting certain things and having faith and being confident and us being gods or whatever. And in text form, I mean, in tech, yeah, when it's written down, a lot of people resonate with it. When it's in the holy books, people resonate with it a lot. It's beautiful. We teach it to everybody. But it seems like, Erin, when somebody embodies the information, the same people who are reading the information, like let's say I'm reading the information is right here, right, Erin? I will read it, I will love it, I will teach it. Then when I turn around and I see it embodied in somebody, I get triggered by it. Like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you talking like that? Why imagine if they talk like Muhammad Ali, and I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're the greatest of all time. But I just read that in this book, and I liked it when it was in the book. But when I seen it embodied it, when I see Muhammad Ali say it, I don't like it when he says it. I only like it in the book. So what is it about people liking it in the book? But if Muhammad Ali says it, if Floyd Mayweather says it, I don't like it then. I only like it when it's written down in the book. What is it about humanity that gets triggered when it's played out in human form?
This is just ego. What's the saying? People want to see you successful, just not more successful than them. So when something's in a book, it's just an idea, right? It's just but it's not something that is in your face. It's not yet tangible. So for some people, they just might get triggered that someone's actually living in that mastery, that it's not just in a book. And what humans like to do is the audacity. I think about somebody like Kanye West, where people say like, how dare you believe in yourself that much? But meanwhile, if they read it in the book, then totally, completely, it's like, yeah, we should all be self-confident. But when you're actually experiencing the frequency of confidence, it triggers you. Now, if it triggers you on a deeper level, it's also because it's mirroring back to you where that frequency is not yet embodied for you. Because if I'm confident, when I'm interacting with somebody else that's on that same level of confidence, that's inspiring. It's like, finally, somebody else is on this vibration. So if you're getting triggered that people are walking in mastery that you thought was maybe just in a book, it's because you want to be on that level and you are not.
So let me ask you this, a real life scenario. What should somebody do, Erin? Like, let's say somebody says, Erin, how was your day today? And you like, magnificent, godly. and you see, and you see, Erin, and you see it offends them. There's a part of does empathy kick in for you, or I don't know if I'm using the right word, and you're like, wow, I kind of hurt them by saying that. Maybe I shouldn't say it again, or do you just double down and keep saying it? This because I guess that, the reason why I'm asking that, because I guess that's kind of describing lowering your vibration to appease somebody. So do you double down on your high vibration, or you like, damn, that kind of hurt them? Maybe I shouldn't be that bold with my positivity.
So here's what's really going on a vibrational level. When you first begin attuning your frequency and embodying some of those higher vibrational qualities and attitudes, you're probably still around people who are not in that energy.
Oh, okay, I get what you're going. I get what
You
you're
see?
going.
And so the universe is really going to basically test you to see, are you ready to hold it? Doesn't matter who else is on it. Are you willing to be the person in the room with the dominant vibration? Now, ideally, it should get to the point where pretty much any room you're in, more than likely, I'm probably the highest vibrating person in here, and I'm okay with that. But also, you start being in rooms and with people who are also on that vibration, where you go, it's a great day, and they go, I know, it's so beautiful.
Right.
Like where the building that I live in right now, so it's a luxury high-rise building, and pretty much everybody here is like retired. I mean, this is San Diego, California. They're successful, happy, rich, whatever, and everybody is like, it's a great day. So what does that show me? It shows me, oh, I'm really embodied in this energy. I'm not even surrounded by negative people anymore. It's great. I don't have to even think about, am I in too good of a mood? It's like, this is the vibrational standard around here. This is the energetic standard. So if you're still surrounded by folks who are vibrating in that frequency, I want you to hold it, and I want you to be comfortable with holding it, because when you're comfortable with, the universe will scan your vibration and they go, oh, this is really who you are. Let's give you more to be thankful, grateful, excited about.
Yo, I always love talking to you, because it's like really like I feel like even if you say you're not channeling, you're channeling all the time. It's like you're just channeling all the time, and it's like it's so pure in the way it comes through you, man. I love it. I love these conversations.
Thank you.
But by the way, family, we got almost 2,000 people in the room. If you didn't come in earlier at the beginning of the show, I just want to remind everybody, Erin Lyons will be at the 9 Ether Godfest in Georgia on February 8th, family. Please get your tickets early. We are at 80% capacity. They will be sold out soon. I do not want you to miss it. I don't want to hear the same, oh, I should have got it. I should have got it. Family, get your tickets now. They are extremely reasonable. This is the deal of a lifetime. There's so many amazing speakers that are going to be present in Georgia on February 8th. It starts at 7 o'clock and it ends at 1. And it's different from anything I've done before. And it's going to be different from anything you've ever seen. I guarantee you will have the time of your life. What Erin is coming through with is, just trust me, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be an emotional experience. It's going to be a heartfelt experience. It's going to be a godly experience. Family, do not miss this, family. Don't miss it for anything in the world, family. Make sure you get your tickets. Let me share this link one more time. Got to get rid of a couple of trolls. Let me share this link one more time. All right, family. I didn't pin it. I'm going to pin it at the top a little later on, but it's in the chat, family. Usually King Simon is in the chat. King Simon, where you at, King? I see Q Reeves in the building. Real quick announcement. Shout out to the brother Q Reeves. He will be on the show tomorrow. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock, y'all can tune in to Q Reeves. He will also be at the 9 Ether Godfest. So it's going to be very godly, y'all. It's going to be very godly. All right. Let's keep this thing going. Damn, I want to get a couple of questions from y'all before Erin gets out of here.
I want to really help a few people quantum leap. tonight. Like
Love it.
really quantum leap. So
Love it.
you guys can ask questions, like not weird one-off stuff, but like something you really want to shift on.
Indeed. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get those questions together. And while we do that, let me just ask you this last question before we get to some other questions. Erin, what do you think? You know, we always talk about the imagination, right? And how important the imagination is. And it's very hard, even if a lot of people don't want to admit it, for them to tap into the imagination the way they're supposed to tap it. Everybody say, "Oh yeah, imagination. I know what that is. Oh yeah, yeah, it's imagination." But if you really observe somebody when they say, you know, they're doing this or they're doing that or whatever, whatever, and you have a conversation with them, you're like, nah, that's not how I'm. That's not. You're not really tapping into your imagination. You completely lose. Erin, I'm gonna tell you. Let me just give you an example. I'm giving you. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what tapping into. Listen, I'm at me, my girl, my son. We went to New York. The last time we went to New York, when was this? I forgot. It might have been his birthday, October. I think I was in. I think so. I forget. I've been there a couple of. I went there like 5 times last year. But we stayed in Harlem because I used to live in Harlem. So we stayed at this hotel in Harlem because I wanted to be in Harlem and experience Harlem. I'm like, I miss Harlem. So I'm on the elevator, right? I'm by myself. They went out. They went somewhere. I'm on the elevator by myself. I got on my music. I got on my headphones. So I'm the only one on the floor. I get on the elevator, y'all, and I get on the elevator, and I'm just like this elevator. I'm listening to my music, and I'm just zoned out. I'm dancing, and I'm just imagining something, and then these 2 women walk in the elevator. I'm like, oh shit, they think I'm crazy. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, my fault, y'all. I'm just listening to my music. So I like calm down. I'm like, oh, I'm just zoning out, y'all. They're like, no, enjoy yourself, young man. Enjoy yourself. But I'm like, I didn't even know anybody got on the elevator.
I'm seeing this in my imagination. That's why I'm laughing.
Elevator, and you just see somebody rocking, and I'm listening to my music, and I'm just envisioning something. But I forget that people are about, because I'm all the way on the 20th floor. So I'm thinking I got some time to get to the first floor, but somebody got in on the 18th floor. So I'm like, oh, my fault, y'all. I was just zoned out. And we had a nice conversation. I told him, you know, I'm here, my son's birthday, whatever, whatever. But that's tapping into your badge. You just completely forget about everything. So what would you say is something that they took away from us, Erin, when we were young, that it's just so hard? It seems impossible for us to get back. And we're so adult-like that we just can't get it back because we're just so adult-like, Erin. But what's something you would say they stripped of us when we were young?
Our inner child. So children dress up and do and play make-believe because they understand that reality is just a game. They're not attached to this realm. They understand just innately that there's just so much more to experience. So they're just naturally doing this. So yeah, our inner child was something that we were stripped of, meaning, hey, you got to get serious. You got to go to school. You got to pay bills, right? How many people's parents here have told them you need to get serious about life? I know my parents used to tell me I needed to get serious when I used to talk about law of attraction, manifestation, and all this stuff that I was going to do. And they thought I was losing my mind. Literally, they thought I was going crazy. And it's simply because when you start becoming more programmed, you become more dense. And the more dense you are, the more attached to reality you are, and you forget that it's just a dream. It's like the lucid dream I was talking about. You're no longer awake in the dream. When you're a child, you're awake in the dream, which is why you don't take it seriously. And then all these adults are trying to program you and telling you to, get serious and responsibilities and this and that, but that's just their programming. So if you want to start expanding your imagination, you have to build it up like a muscle. When you're meditating, maybe right after meditation, because you've entered a flow state, then maybe try engaging the imagination, and then your visuals can get stronger and stronger and stronger. Also, okay, Source wants to talk about our pineal gland. Most people's third eye pineal gland is completely shut off or just extremely calcified. So you might feel like, well, I'm not seeing anything, or as it doesn't feel real, but it's just because you've been vibrating in a really dense frequency. So the more you raise your vibration, the more vivid these sort of images will become, but you've got to be willing to build this up like a muscle.
Mm. Build it like a muscle. Love
I
it.
would say at least twice per week, you commit 15 minutes to playing in your imagination.
Mm. Love it. Love it indeed. Let's get to these questions from the family. I see y'all started yeah, y'all started really asking questions. Um, let's get to this one here first. All right. Let me put Erin on the full screen while I dive into some of these. All right. Somebody wants to know, how can you shift from repeating a painful cycle?
Crazy. I just posted about this on my YouTube today, the message that we posted. Change your reaction. So what
Good.
happens is something negative happens, something bad happens, something unwanted happens, and we typically have an emotional response and we label it and we say this is bad. Now, the issue with that is that energy, that emotional response has an attractive power and quality that's then going to magnetize something else bad, something else painful. And then before you know it, you're in this inescapable cycle. Okay. So, what exactly is a cycle? A cycle is simply energetic momentum. You keep reacting to reality the same way. I know this is difficult because, Erin, how am I going to react to something that I'm perceiving to be bad differently? The best thing you can do is start neutralizing your emotions toward this thing. You want to meditate. So you're not going to maybe necessarily have access to the highest vibrating thought or feeling, like if you're in fear, distress, or anger, but you can start working your way up the emotional scale, feeling better and better and better, eventually reaching neutrality. Now, when you hit you can gain access to something different. So, long-winded way of saying, start reacting differently. Ignore reality. Okay, reality is just of an outdated version showing you the momentum that you've been in. So really you want to be looking at this as feedback. Okay, this is negative. I understand that I've been vibrating in a certain direction. Process your emotions authentically and then intentionally start feeling better or differently, relating to this circumstance differently. And then before you know it, you're not attracting more pain. Maybe now you're a vibrational match to a solution, because
Mhm.
remember, this is quantum. You will literally create a portal into a portal and a tunnel into a parallel version of reality where now the solution can present itself.
Excellent, excellent. Let's keep this thing moving. I see a couple of good questions and I want to get them because I don't have much time left, family. Somebody wants to know. Oh, there's a lot of good ones here. Okay, let me ask this since you're a new mom, Erin. As a new mom, how do you connect to your child to be a part of their imaginary outlook? Very important. Very important.
Well, me and my son are starting to exchange telepathic thoughts. And so, what my guides were telling me is to send him images, because the language is not yet developed. So, you can also do this for animal communication as well. Send telepathic images. So, we do that, but also just being present. Just so, children are an extension of the mother's energetic field. So whenever we come into presence, or just simply me coming into a high vibration, he will also follow suit, and then we can sort of have this soul exchange without words or without well, yeah, because we can't verbally communicate.
Right. Excellent, excellent. I think that's very important. Connecting with your child on it. That telepathic through images. I really like that one, and I'm gonna use that more with my daughter Erin. I'm glad you said that. Let's
Yes.
get to this next question. I know this is gonna help a lot of people. How can you let go of something that you can't seem to get out of your head, no matter what you do? That happens to a lot of people, Erin. I'm glad she asked that.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So thoughts. Thoughts are a reflection of your state of being, an extension of your state of being. I want everybody to understand something. You are not going to think your way out of whatever problem, situation, or circumstance you're dealing with. You're just not going to do it because the mind is obsessed with trying to figure it out. And it's just going to take you down this rabbit hole of the problem, the problem, the problem, the problem, the problem. You're not going to think your way out of it. And all of those thoughts are just going to attract more thoughts. And then before you know it, you get this situation, right? I can't get this out of my head, no matter what I'm doing. How you hack this cycle is you're going to feel your way out of it. You're not going to think your way out of it. You're going to feel your way out of it. This means shifting the energetic state. Now, when I shift my energetic state, I naturally will have access to better and higher thoughts. So it kind of works like this. Really, you have to deactivate the energetic momentum of what's in your head. And you do that by shifting focus. So focus on something else and shifting your emotional state through gratitude, through meditation, because that just neutralizes your energy and slows down thought. If depending on the technique you're using, go for a walk, listen to music, watch a comedy show, go cook, anything that takes that off your mind. And then activated in your field.
Indeed. Real quick, Erin, you mentioned Abraham Hicks earlier, and she always said, take the emotional journey. And what you just said made me think about that. Take the emotional journey. So would you say, a quick follow-up question to that question, would you say, because we're taught, to be successful in this world, we're always taught, Erin, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to be a go-getter. Is being more important than doing? We're always taught to do this, do that. So you're saying being is more important than doing?
You can do something that is on a vibrational level a counterproductive action, meaning your mind believes that if I do this, then I will receive this. But really, it's if I'm in the energy of this, I will be a vibrational match to it and it will come. Now, yes, action will always be a part of the manifestation process. I want to share sort of a crazy breakthrough moment for me when I first started this business, like doing this full time. And because I had worked on Wall Street and corporate and just that whole world, and it was so action based and based on productivity, I had a real hard time just sitting in the energy of needing to use every single second of my time as an entrepreneur to work on something. And Source came in one day and said, hey, you do know you could sit on the couch right now and do absolutely nothing. You could watch a movie. You could still be a vibrational match.
Oh, that's crazy. Ain't that something?
And all this other stuff. And I go, that's when it really clicked. I can sit here and do nothing, but I could be a vibrational match to everything that I desire. And when that clicked, less doing, more being.
That seems too good to be true for a lot of people. That is amazing. That right there, that's amazing. Oh man, you gotta love this stuff. You gotta love it.
Right?
Let's keep this thing. All right, this is another good one. How do I not allow my vibration to lower when living with someone who is depressed?
Ooh, yeah, that's difficult. You have to have the dominant frequency. So I'm just tuning into your energy field, and this is what I see happening. You're looking at that person in their depression, and their depression is becoming the way that you see them. Whereas when you are in, let's just say, a more mastered energy, when you're seeing them, you're seeing a state of being that they're experiencing, right? You're seeing something that their soul is exploring right now, but you are not also attached to the idea that they are this depressed person, right? Because you're seeing them and you have an opinion about that depression. You don't want them to be depressed anymore, right? You want them to be happy. And maybe some of what they're saying or their actions is also it just really has your attention and it's impacting you. So what Source is encouraging you to do, Monet, I believe that's your name, is to, every time you see them in their depression, start imagining them, what they would be like if they were in their power. Maybe even speak some of these things. You know, when we say speak life into people, speak life into this person, but it first requires that you see them beyond their depression. When you start seeing them beyond their depression, you will interact with them differently and just have a different exchange in this living space.
Hey, Erin, just to add on to what Monet is asking, do you think it's more difficult? Because you talked about having a dominant vibration. Do you
Mhm.
think it's more difficult for a woman to have the dominant vibration? Let's say it's your husband or your brother or your father. As a woman and you're in that household to have the dominant vibration, do you think that carries more difficulty with it?
No, it's actually easier for the feminine to have the dominant vibration because that's actually her original leadership position and role, is to be the frequency holder and tone setter for the space.
Nice, nice. The tone setter. Yo, the tone setter. Yo, that's not that's fire. That's gems, y'all. To be the tone setter for the space. I love that. Wow.
So, really quickly, as a man, would you agree that when your woman is in a certain energy, that impacts the
Hell
entire home?
yeah. Hell yeah.
This is
Facts.
this is just
Facts.
how it's set up. This is the natural order of things.
Oh wow, you made that okay. She made that sound. Yo, I thought that I was like, damn, I don't in my mind. I said, should I ask her this? Is she gonna like? Oh, I'm glad I asked that. I'm glad I asked that. Y'all hear that, ladies? Wow, that's fire. That is fire. All right, let's keep this thing. Okay, my brother Q wants to know: can light language attract light beings similar to angels, the Gen, etc.?
There's something about this word attract that Source and the angels are giving me that's like not necessarily how things work. Just because, okay, when you're in the higher realms, you're already in this sort of state of totality and completion. So it's not like you're like attracted to it, like, ooh, but it's more so, okay, you're in the it's a resonance. So if I'm channeling light language, or if you have this ability, then typically you're vibrating in a really higher tier of energy. And so these beings and these energies are already in the same field of resonance as you.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yes.
All right, let's keep this thing going. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Hold up. All right. Is there a threshold for initiating cosmic consciousness that will create a let's just say create a vibration on Earth to begin physical ETs interacting with humanity on a grand scale?
Yes. This tipping point is fun, love, joy, self empowerment. As long as we're relating to the extraterrestrials as being outside of ourselves, meaning there's something else that's there, maybe coming to harm us or to maybe even save us, like whatever the relationship to these beings is that we hold in our dominant just collective consciousness, that will determine if we're ready to hold the physical presence of them in our reality, because they don't want us to be disempowered. This is their main thing.
Uh,
They don't want us to be disempowered. If we give our power away, they say, okay, this is okay, they're giving me a species in its infancy, and they are not ready yet ready to co-create with us. So when they do come, they want us to be empowered. They want us to understand that we're creators. They want us to understand our access to the quantum field so they can be in divine co-creation with us.
mm,
Not dominance over us, not control over us, not saviors to us, but in co-creation with us as beings who are experiencing and exploring cosmic consciousness.
indeed, indeed. Yeah, somebody said Erin is cooking. Yeah, she is cooking tonight. Yeah, I really like this. Is like, and I right before I started the show, y'all, and I pressed live, I told Erin, I said, man, I'm tired, Erin. And I just being with the kids and long day or whatever. And it's amazing to have a show, engage in this type of conversation with this information, and get so energized. We're taught that food gives us energy, but conversation and can give you
Charged up.
energy. Yeah, man. I feel so turned up right now. So it's beautiful to be on the internet and engage in this type of activity. Shout out to everybody. We got 2,000 people in the room. Shout out to everybody who decided to be a part of this tonight. Family, I really hope you're getting something from this, because I am like, I'm like, y'all see how I'm talking right now. You really, I just told Erin, I was like, yo, I'm tired, Erin. Yo, family, this is it right here. This is what I love. I'm thankful
And
that I do this for a living. Go ahead, Erin.
if you're vibrating high right now, understand that this should become your norm.
Yeah, yeah.
When we talk about ascension, all of us should be experiencing this vibrational frequency more than we experience the other frequencies. It doesn't mean that we won't experience them, because that's just a part of being human. You should be charged up, having the time of your life
Yeah.
every single day. And that's what Source's goal is, through me and many other teachers and many platforms, through your platform, Rich. So this is the real work. It's your frequency. I know the conspiracy theories are interesting sometimes, guys, but I gotta say, it's about your frequency more than anything else.
Indeed. Every day, not just the weekend, family. Every day.
Every
Oh
day.
man, Erin, this my homie. He's a big supporter of the channel, man. Dre, what's going on? Dre says
Okay,
I had
let's see.
health problems for the last couple of weeks, and my physical, emotional, and spirituality has been drained a lot. How can I get back to my high frequency, the quantum leap, to my hill timeline? I hope everything's all right, my brother. I hope everything's good, Dre. Hope everything get better. Come out February 8th, Dre. I'm sorry.
So I'm just like tuning into his energy right now. You are going through a major ascension upgrade. So oftentimes when we're getting ready to anchor into a higher vibration of light, our light body has to go through a sort of upgrade and healing, and so a purging. So this could look like toxins being detoxed, just dormant dense energetic things coming to surface. That's what you're going through right now. And so your guides are giving me a lot of rest, um a lot of hydration, and really I see this as like an alignment. Like, really think about, what is it that would really bring you joy?
Mhm.
Because when we're not in joy, meaning maybe we don't yet know our purpose, or we don't really have that thing that keeps us going every single day, that's when we become energetically drained. So this upgrade is happening, but it's also like a soul realignment. Like, I see your higher self right now come through in a bit of a soul review. It's like, okay, what is next? The joy, the fun, the creativity is massive for you right now.
Mhm.
This is what your guides are trying to bring into your awareness, and things begin to shift.
Indeed. Yo, Dre, let me know in the chat if you're coming out to the 9th Godfest. Shout out also, shout out to Ascendant Infinite Goddess. She canceled her plans in Malibu on February 8th just to come to the
Wow.
event. Yeah, so
How
look,
beautiful. I cannot wait to meet you. Oh, I
indeed.
can't wait.
Indeed. Yeah. Erin's gonna have a table there, so she's gonna be chopping up with y'all the whole night. So, family, this is why you should not miss this event. This is a unique opportunity to get up close and personal and really talk with some of the people that you love and you see on YouTube all the time. So many speakers gonna be there. Erin, Sister Myra, Dr. B Serious, Billy Carson. I mean, just so many. I'm not gonna go down the whole list of names right now, but it's a very important event, and I just really look forward to seeing y'all there and having a great time. Let's keep it. We're gonna do two more questions, then we're gonna get out of here, family. Somebody wants. Okay, does diet play an important role in quantum leaping, Erin? Okay, diet. What you ate.
Yes. So there are certain tiers of energy meaning just the energetic essence and quality of a just particular reality and, let's say, lifestyle that require you to make some changes. However, interesting, okay, this comes through. In the beginning, it may not be as important. And that's simply because if you're having fun, you're enjoy, you're using your creative energy, that type of thing, that could be the dominant focal point and focus right now for you to access higher timelines. And then something may trigger in your system, like maybe you randomly become allergic to gluten. Okay. So then the body is saying, okay, we're stabilized in this frequency. Now we need to look at this. It's like sometimes the diet piece, it's too overwhelming for us to work on it at that moment. But this is all deeply contractual. Now, just naturally, as you're raising your vibration, you'll just want to release certain foods. It just happens. Like at this point, I'm pretty much 90% plant-based. It just happens. Like you just start choosing things that make your body feel good.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely, family. Just a reminder, family. We are doing the fast with KT. It got pushed back. I know it was supposed to start today, but it got pushed back, family. It may start the first week of February. I will keep everybody updated with that. But yeah, definitely, I definitely agree, Erin. Let's keep this thing moving. I think we're gonna do one last question, and then we're gonna get out of here, family. All right, let's end it like this, Erin. Let's end it like this. Can you tell us the difference between resonance, frequency, and vibration for those who may be a little confused? All right.
There are really different variations of this, of saying the same thing, which is, what am I doing with my energy? Am I in energetic resonance with the desires that I want to experience in my life? Am I vibrating on the frequency of the desires, right? The vibration is the speed of the frequency. The frequency, we're just getting like quantum technical right now. Frequency really is like a measurement of light waves, and the vibration would be the speed of those different different spectrums within the light wave the light wave spectrum. And then the resonance is just when two frequencies are in alignment, in harmonic resonance, right? If we say something's in harmonic resonance, it means two frequencies are vibrating at the same speed within the same vibrational bandwidth.
Yeah, no facts. No, I love how you broke that down. Yo, you know what's the only thing, Erin, I'm gonna tell you. You started breaking it down with vibration, and then you tried to explain yourself, and he was like, "I'm just speaking quantum," and I'm like, "Oh, don't explain yourself, just keep going." In my mind, I was like, "Keep going, don't explain yourself."
Well, because sometimes for me, it's like a lot of this stuff I don't know on a technical level. So when it starts coming through, I can even feel that a different frequency of the stream is coming in, and I'm like, okay, we're getting scientific, like it's a different type of channel, if that makes sense.
Is that scary to just you're talking and all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is a whole nother stream from somewhere else. Is that scary for you?
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I have such a endearing, fun relationship with just source, the angels, like my guides. I have no fear. It's all trust and love. So when that energy comes in, I'm just like, okay, let's readjust. I see what's happening, but how it feels in my body, it's almost like as I'm saying it to you all, I'm also learning it at the same time. So I'm experiencing the expansion of that, and that it, like, there's no better feeling than that information coming through, that answer coming through.
That's dope for you to be teaching us, but you're learning at the same time.
Oh yeah, all the time it happens. And I'm like, and for those who like really follow me and watch me when I channel, I'll say things like, oh, okay, that's interesting, or oh, they've never said it like this before. I love those moments because it's like I do this for a living every single day. So it's exciting when something new comes through in a totally different way.
Do you say things that you forget, Erin? Like, I said that? I didn't know I said that. Does that happen?
All the time. All the time. Because you can just get in a trance or get lost in a stream, and you're like, even when I go back and watch things, I'm like, that was on point. That was good. Like I forget, I'm just in the flow with it.
Right. Did something ever happen in your life where you gave source or whoever permission to channel through to you? Like, I'm trying to figure out why these channels coming through you so clearly. Was there a point where you gave permission where maybe somebody hasn't given permission yet? That's why they're not having getting these downloads that you're getting.
Two things: pre-birth
Pre-
permission. Pre-birth meaning like contractually, just like this is my role,
Soul
this
contract.
is
Yep.
what it is. But then also an agreement from a place of love. Like when I came into my remembrance of myself as source, ego death experience, fully absorbed into source energy, it's like when you experience that, there's nothing more that you could ever want to do with yourself or your time than to give other beings access to that frequency of truth, love, and alignment. So it's like the permission is implied. It's like this, it's not permission, it's actually your desire. You're like, bring it on. Like, I want to be the highest channel and vessel for love.
Oh, amazing. Excellent, family. Yes, February. If this, I promise this is the last one, Erin. I promise. Last question. Last question. I think they meant to say handling grief, help you with transitional state, get back. Yes, let's talk about grief and getting back, handling grief and getting back to your higher self, Erin.
Acceptance. Experience every single emotion here as a human. When you accept that the higher vibrating emotions are not necessarily better than the lower vibrating emotions, they're just simply experiences within consciousness. When you accept it and you sort of become the observer, and you just allow the emotions to be there without judgment, you'll move through that process faster. Now, if you're in grief and you're sitting in grief wishing that you were experiencing something else, you'll actually prolong the experience of that grief. The grief has contractually showed up for you to learn something about it. Okay, this is excellent. I want everybody to start seeing your emotions as teachers. What is this emotion teaching me right now about life, about existence, about myself, about reality? And then you can, these emotions are a friend to you as opposed to you feeling like really victimized by them.
Indeed. Oh yeah, no, definitely. That helped. Family, this was so therapeutic tonight, y'all. If y'all don't come out here and see Erin on February 8th, I don't know what to say about y'all. This was so therapeutic tonight.
I have fun. And that was my intention. Before any live interview, whatever that I do, I go, source, this is my intention. This is the timeline I want to anchor. And I said, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to gain access to that frequency. So I think that was accomplished.
Amazing. No, definitely. I know it was accomplished. Family, once again, one last time before we get out of here, make sure you get your tickets, family. February 8th, Erin will be in the building. She's going to have a table vending. She's going to hit the stage. Make sure you come check her out. Stonecrest, Georgia. The link is in the chat, family. Make sure you are there. And before we get out of here, Erin, could you share anything, your links? I know you do. You got a lot of things going on. So tell the people everything you got going on so they could get in contact with you and get some of your products and services. Oh, this was amazing tonight. Go ahead.
There's so many new things that we're doing this year, but okay, I'll talk about the Full Moon Club. So we had a full moon ceremony last week, phenomenal. But every full moon, we're going to be doing a ceremony, a circle, and an activation. I think that's something that's very accessible that people could experience. So ErinLyonsOfficial.com. There's so many other things, but check out the Full Moon Club. I think you guys would like that.
Dope. Yeah, definitely check that out. With that being said, Erin, I will see you February 8th. I will give you every update. Oh, you know what I gotta give you, Erin? Yo, so we got a Discord. Do you have Discord on your phone?
No, but I'm aware of Discord.
Oh, okay. Listen, we got a Discord going on with all the participants who will be at the event on February 8th. So if you want to, I'll send you the link to the Discord, and you can, just talk to them. That tell them about you may tell them about something you're bringing there or whatever. But Sister Myra's on there. A lot of the speakers on. It's a great centralized, small community that we got going on outside of social media and all the distractions and the politics and all of that talk. It's just focused on us, our ascension, February 8th, and us bettering ourselves. So it's like a great chat. It's the last in. So I formed it when I announced the tickets, and it's going to last up until the day of the event. So everybody can meet each other online before they meet each other in person. Just to kind of, so it's a beautiful, beautiful chat. But I'll send you the link. You know what I'm saying? I send all the people that's going to be there. I'm sending everybody the link. So I'll send you the link. With that being said, family, Erin, thank you so much once again. Everybody else, thank you for tuning in on this Monday night. I believe it's Martin Luther King Day, isn't it? Is it Martin Luther? Because
yes,
I forget. I'm so much out the loop, you family.
You're living in the quantum. I get it. It's like, is it inauguration? Is it MLK? I don't know what's going on.
My mind, I'll be out the loop. I got a daughter and a new baby, and my mind is somewhere else. Hey, once again, family, give a big once again, congratulations to Erin on her son, her marriage, everything she got going on. This is very important. We love talking about community. Community starts at home. We got to form this unit, and we got to get our home straight first, and then we could branch out into community-based living. So shout out, congratulations to Erin and everybody else who's out there doing their thing. With that being said, Erin, I'm going to talk to you soon before the event. Everybody else, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow with the Brother Q Reeves. Peace to everybody. All right. Yes.